Yeah, this was it. They've obliterated any sign of the road itself. And that's why I ordered a new skid plate. Okay, so what you guys just missed was that as I was going around the back side of my house to get the bike to where I want to shoot this video for the skid plate removal and replacement, is that actually the bike was cold. I figured I'd just drive it around anyways, but guess what? When the bike's cold, it doesn't like to chug along at low speeds. It stalled in a very unseemly manner and fell over. And guess what? I lost my handguard. It snapped right up. Yeah, because it's just barely above freezing, so the plastic's probably a little brittle. Nothing major. Just tipped over. But totally unexpected, as the whole purpose of my putting the bike over in this location was to make a how-to video to replace this. The reason I still have the bike running is because it is cold enough that I do actually want to warm the engine up to kind of throw a little heat as I'm working. That's the skid plate bottom part that snapped the other day. There's another crack on the other mount point. It's just the factory Kawasaki skid plate. Nothing too special about it. Just a piece of plastic held on by a few bolts. Right there, the mounting bracket. And then underneath, attached to the frame, down under here, there's a few bolts. If I can get down here. 1, 2. You can see where this cracked here. That happened on my last ride. We hit a good sized rock. It looks right about here. Took it right out there. Oh shit. These skid plates is to protect your engine in your lower cases. Right there, that's my oil drain bolt. You can see it kind of hangs out. Well, the new skid plate that I have should extend beyond this point. Should come back to about here, helping protect that bolt a little more. A little bit of dirt from my tip over I just had. Low speed in the yard. Bike was just cold and said, I ain't running anymore. And my new T63s just dug right in when the bike stopped. And I wasn't expecting it. I just fell over. It's like, yeah, okay, dumbass. Let the bike warm up. Anyways, this is it. And this is what'll be getting replaced. Okay, so here we are. This is the replacement skid plate. It's a JNS aluminum with the upgraded mounting brackets. Okay, here we go. And this is an 8mm ratchet socket combination. Basically all you have to do is you can see the crack on this side too. Look at that. Anyways, 8mm, 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over here on the other side. Alright. And about 4 little screws, nuts. Okay, so minor delay game. The new mounting bracket from JNS Engineering. This is the old bracket. I don't know if you can catch that or not. On the bracket itself, right here, is the nut that holds, that the bolt threads into. It's welded right on to the bracket, just like the lower mounting points down here. You see the nuts welded right on there. That's good down there. I mean, it's welded to the frame, welded to the bracket. These brackets, though, I'm replacing with the JNS brackets. Lo and behold, the JNS bracket does not have a similarly welded on nut, which I guess makes sense, since it's got the elongated hole in order to, fine tune and adjust the skid plate. Only problem is, with their hardware that came with the kit, they didn't supply any nuts. Mock nuts of any type. So I'm kind of gonna have to take a trip to Home Depot or Lowe's or something. Unless I have some of these down on an assortment of goodies, which I probably don't. But I might. I'll find out. Anyways, the reason I'm down here on the bench is because I got a new JNS skid plate and the JNS mounting brackets. Factory brackets have nuts welded right onto the brackets. The JNS does not. Lucky me, I happen to have some nice nylon nuts and a couple of stainless washers just sitting on the bench that coincidentally fit right on the bolts from JNS, which coincidentally look just like the bolts that came with the set of fog lights, which is kind of strange. But I had those. These are the ones for the JNS kit. Those are the nuts that came with those that work on these. Lucky me. The next part of the process is to replace the mounting brackets right here with this new JNS bracket. There's 3 bolts that I have to loosen and replace, and put them back into position with the new bracket in place of this old bracket. I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so what you see here is some blocking. There's a twofold reason why I put the blocking in underneath the bike. One is because in order to switch out the brackets, I have to take that motor mount bracket off. I don't want the motor to move. So I have the motor kind of being held up by these blocks. Most of the weight's being taken by the center stand. All I have to do is actually lean back on the rear wheel to just slip that in, because it just barely fits under there. And you can see I don't have it on the oil drainage bolt. It's just as close to it as possible, and it catches the case. That should keep the motor from shifting while I'm working. Another thing you could probably do is tuck some shims in right there. That would keep it from shifting also. Just in case, you know. Don't want anything to move, become more of a problem than it should be. Alright, so I have loosened 2 of the nuts for the mounting bracket, and now I have to completely remove them. that. Take this extension and this socket wrench. This is why I like having more than one socket wrench. Okay. Because sometimes when you have a little bit, you need a little more oomph to get a nut loose. A longer handle provides more leverage. That bolt is on there. You can see good thing is the engine didn't move. All right. Good to go. All right. So I've got the bracket removed. The engine didn't shift or move at all. Whether it would have or not, I'm not sure. I forget if there's a mount up high on the case or not. But I did put blocking in underneath there to keep it from moving. Like I said, you could probably shim right there if you wanted. They came out, did move. I put a little thread lock on the bolt and on the nuts. It can't hurt. Alright. The new mounting plates are on. Nice. Time for a skid plate. Now that I have the new mounting brackets on and the engine mount bolted all back up, I can remove this block because it is in the way of where the skid plate is going to end up. So, that being said, I will do that next. Use a little bit of this thread locker. And let's see. this is where an extra set of hands would have come in handy. Thread lock on this bolt. Suppose I could get a clamp. There's a spring clamp to help kind of hold it. Or actually, better yet, second set of hands. I'll be right back. So, trying to hold this up with one hand, get the nuts and bolts in, everything lined up, has proven to be a little difficult on my own. But if I take a zip tie and run it through the front holes, like this, you can see the zip tie is taking the weight in front, like this. Oop. Pretty good. That'll help. At least that way there I can get it started. So I can get this rubber biscuit in here. Where it's supposed to go. Biscuit. Thread lock. To the other side. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come over there. Switch. Alright. That's on. Now you can see that the skid plate extends well beyond the oil drain bolt, yet the oil drain bolt is still fully accessible. Like I said, it's got a slightly more aggressive look than the factory plastic, and it's a nice little add-on. Protection over here for the water thermostat and all that. I mind you, if I have to change this, if I ever want to do a thermal bob or anything, I might have to take the plate off, but it's only 4 bolts, so it's not a biggie. Toughest part for me today was I was just working on the ground and it's 40 degrees and I got a chainsaw buzzing across the street all day long. Other than that, every day. So, off with the old, on with the new. Didn't have to worry about any big rocks anymore out on the trail. Only one thing left to do with this, throw it in the recycle bin. Factory skid plate, baby. Bye-bye.